In this video, we show how to apply the techniques previously covered and create a pair of sweatpants. This lesson covers how to create a gathered waistband, ribbed cuffs, and a drawcord using pattern pieces. For this lesson, the base of the pants has already been stitched. We have added the pants patterns in the side leg clusters, aligning the side seams together. Let's begin with the waistband. In this example, we will be creating a folded sheared waistband. To start off, we arrange the waistband, placing it in the low waist cluster. We also make sure that Use in 3D is enabled. Next, we check in Prepare mode to see how the pattern is wrapping the avatar. We want the pattern positioned where it is supposed to be stitched. Since the waistband is much longer than the waistline, the pattern overlaps itself. To fix this, we scale the pattern by dragging the cube so that the length of the waistband matches the waistline. Next, we must fold the waistband. Here we have already added in the fold line. Once again, we check in 3D that the pattern is folding in the correct direction. Remember that if we want the pattern to fold the right way to show the face of the fabric, we can achieve this by changing the prepare angle to a negative value. Next, we can stitch the bottom of the waistband to the waistline and stitch the bottom of the waistband to the top edge. To create the shearing effect, we use the shrink property. First, we select all the internal lines on the waistband. Then we apply a shrink value of 30%. Great, let's dress the garment to see the results. We can see that the waistband looks very soft and not sturdy enough. So we add force multiplier to the edges to reinforce the pattern. The details on the shearing look sharp and edgy. To fix that, we can change the grid size. We'll do that once we have otherwise completed the garment. Remember that creating a snapshot is recommended to have as a garment drape history or as a starting point for undo-redo. Next, we want to add the ribbed cuffs. With the same steps, we add the ribbed cuffs to the side leg cluster. Since this is a ribbed cuff, notice that the pattern is much shorter than the hemline of the pants. Thus, if we take a look in Prepare mode, the cuffs would not be wrapping around the leg. This would cause problems with the simulation as the stitches would be cutting through the avatar. To solve this, we create a new cluster section. Great! Now we can stitch the rib and dress the garment. Save a snapshot and name it Cuffs. The last thing we need to do is to add a drawcord. You can add a drawcord either by using a 3D object or by creating and stitching several pattern pieces together. If we use a 3D object, that means the drawcord is a fixed shape and would be a solid object. When adding a drawcord, you can decide what technique is best for your workflow. If you want to know more about adding 3D objects to the garment, watch the separate video in the material course. We are going to create a drawcord to start off. We need to create the patterns in 2D. First, we create a rectangle piece like this. We can easily adjust the measurements of the rectangle to the desired length or width. For the aglet of the drawcord, we create a smaller rectangle. We create symmetry for these pieces for the other side of the drawcord. Next, we need to add corner points to the top and bottom edges of the rectangles. Using Snap to Center makes it easy to place the points accurately. We now stitch the vertical edges like this. And we stitch the horizontal edges of the rectangle. This creates a rounded drawcord. On the waistband, we have internal lines to mark the position of the drawcord. Now we stitch the top of the drawcord to the waistband. Lastly, we change the 3D layer of these patterns to be higher than the pants and waistband. Before dressing, since the pattern pieces are really small, it would help the simulation to make the grid size smaller. we need to ensure these new pattern pieces are properly arranged. We can add them to the low waist cluster on the torso cluster. Remember that if you want to ensure the rest of your garment stays put when you dress the drawcords, turn on auto lock and styling. If you want to know more about styling, watch the separate video in the course. Let's dress the garment to see the results. To create a more realistic look, we can add a drawcord texture image and apply it to the drawcords. For the drawcord aglet, you can use a plain image. If you want to get the plastic look, increase the specularity and reduce the roughness value. To get a metallic look, use a metallic texture or increase the metalness to achieve the shiny metal look. You can adjust the physics of the drawcord patterns to suitable materials. Example, we can change the drawcord texture to a cotton material and the aglet texture to a hardware. We continue by adding in all the suitable materials and adjusting the grids to complete the garment. Save a final snapshot. And that is how you create a pair of sweatpants. For more information, visit support.browswear.com.